As last night, it was Fazo who had the delayed steal for the Tobs. So that'll bring up the designated hitter, Patrick Frick, out of Wake Forest. Since joining the Tobs, they've done nothing but start at shortstop, but see what he can do in the designated hitting role tonight. Takes strike number 1.
And Nestor's got a huge lead out there at second, about a quarter of the way down the line.
Bench here is going to miss. Nice job behind the plate by Doherty to block that one. Hold the runners from moving up. Frick on the air, batting 174, 4 for 23 at the plate. 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Still looking for that first RBI. Has a chance here. 1-1 pitch. Look back to second. That one is swung on, giving a ride on the right field line, but that one will get a play off of the light pole. So that'll draw some claps from the Tobs dugout, third base side.
You probably won't do that in the next 100 at bat.
That is true. Although I do have to say, those are some pretty big light beams that we have here at Hooker Field. I mean, they're not your average size light standard pole, but I mean, obviously they've got to hold all those lights up there, and a good amount of lights here at Hooker Field. Be interesting to see what it looks like tonight all lit up. As a step off here by Sendelbach. So that stolen base early in this inning from Nestor. That is actually his third stolen base there. He's 3 for 3. 1-2 pitch going to be coming here to Patrick Frick. Here's the offering, and that one is swung on and missed, and it held on to, unfortunately, by Doherty. So that will end the inning. Tobs strand a pair as Nestor and Brooks work to the 2-out walks, but they won't come around to score. And as we get set to head to the bottom of the first inning, see what Sean Deely can do for the Wilson Tobs, as I believe Brandon has the stats up for Deely, making his second start of the year in a Wilson Tobs uniform. As Brandon's microphone here giving him problems, so we'll get that one fixed. And now we're good. Here we go.
Actually, yeah, Deely on the year. He has a second start of the year, but his first start, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits. That 1 run was an earned run with Peninsula. He did have the 3 walks, but 4 strikeouts. So did have the strikeout pitch working in those 5 innings, and he did give up that 1 home run against Peninsula.
As that was a leadoff home run in the second inning against Dominic Toso. But really outside of that, it was early on. The walks were a little bit of a problem for Deely as he walked 3 through the first 3 innings, but was able to get a couple nice defensive plays, including a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd inning of that game against Peninsula to get him out of it. And like you said, only allowed 2 hits, 1 being the home run.
And even if you walk batters like Deely did in his first start, if you get that ground ball, that ground out pitch working for you, you can get those double plays turned up the middle. And the Tobs have actually turned a lot of double plays this year up the middle. So Deely's got to get that ground out pitch working.
So take a look here quickly at the Martinsville starting lineup. As leading things off will be the second baseman, Chase Dawson. Batting second, it's the shortstop, Jake Lorenzini. Batting third, it's the first baseman, Josh Folk. Dominic Hardaway, the right fielder, he bats 4th. Bobby Morganson, the left fielder, bats 5th. Cross Factor, the third baseman, bats 6th. Bryce Becensis bats 7th. He's the designated hitter. Batting 8th, it's Will Doherty, the catcher. And then batting 9th is the center fielder, Daniel Vitello. As we'll see what Sean Deely can do here early on. Give you a quick look as well defensively for the Tobs, following the first pitch here from Deely. And that'll be swung on, giving a quick ride out to center, and that one is going to drop. It falls in front of the center fielder, Doyle. And that is a quick hit for the Mustangs from Chase Dawson.
Chase Dawson wasting no time, didn't even want to get into that count, took first pitch fastball and hit it into left center field.
So that'll bring up the shortstop, Jake Lorenzini. Here's Lorenzini, a junior from Wayne State College out of Centennial, Colorado, lays down a bunt. Deely has to make the throw. It's in time, but that will move the runner Dawson over to second on the sacrifice bunt.
And if you're the Mustangs and you want to play small ball, that's about as perfect as it gets with the first 2 pitches of the game. You already have a guy at second, 1 out, but perfect bunt. laid down.
So that'll bring up Josh Falk, the first baseman, a sophomore out of South Dakota State. And, especially for a team we talking earlier with the PA announcer here, the Mustangs not really hitting the ball all that well this year. So small ball is what you've got to do to kind of get the offense going. That definitely is an option that you have. Pitch here going to miss up in the zone to Falk. Is Falk a sophomore from Minnetonka, Minnesota? So he's got to be loving this weather. From Minnesota, going to school in South Dakota. Not a bad way to spend your summer, seeing some new scenery in this weather and getting to play baseball. As the count is 2-0 on him. One away and a runner at second for the Mustangs as Chase Dawson taking his lead after moving over on the sacrifice bunt. The 2-0 pitch is low. And the count now 3-0. So the Tobs, they had a pair of runners in the top of the first, but those both came via the walk and after there were 2 outs. Could be a little bit different here if the Mustangs can get a pair on with just 1 away. 3-0 pitch is skied in the air, and that one is going to be out of here. As that ball just carried and carried and carried as Dudley Taw quickly looked up in the air. And so that's going to be an early 2-run home run for Josh Falk over the left field. 3:30 down the line here in Hooker Field. And so the Tobs going to have to try to come back from that early one.
Yeah, and off the bat, you really thought that might have been a fly out to left field. Tall, I think, thought he had a play on it. And you're right, the slight breeze and the weather here, just the ball kept going. And then eventually, went over the fence.
So an early 2-run home run, second of the year that Sean Deely has allowed. Starts off the at-bat here to Dominic Hardaway with a called strike. Is Hardaway a junior from Millersville out of Philadelphia, PA. Millersville and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Watches this one miss for a ball. So for the first baseman, Josh Falk, will look at his stats here as the 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball, no call from the home plate umpire. That's the second home run of the year for Falk. He hit a home run, a solo shot against High Point Thomasville back on June 6th as part of a 7-3 loss against the High Toms. Pitch here swung on, grounded to second. Throw over, and a nice play there to get the second out by Nestor. As that'll bring up the number 5 batter, Bobby Morganson.
And that's when Deely's at his best, is getting grounders to his middle infielders. Really, getting the ball down in the zone. And he didn't start out the game that way, but with 2 outs now, he needs to keep that ball low in the zone.
So that'll bring up Morganson out of Hutchinson Community College. Ball here hit to shallow left, and calling off the shortstop, Tucker, is going to be Taw. So Dudley Taw will make the catch and record the third out. But unfortunately, it'll be nearly 2-0 lead for the Mustangs, thanks to the 2-run home run from Josh Falk. As we are through 1 complete here at Hooker Field, 2-0 lead for Martinsville. As we'll step aside for a quick commercial timeout, as you are listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network.
Our family to yours, we promise the best quality in our Scott Farm sweet potato products.
Whether served as healthy wedges or crunchy chips, we take pride in serving our community and our country.
Locally grown and hand-picked, our chips provide the perfect choice for your game day snack.
Whether hitting a home run or cheering on the sidelines, our products ensure a healthy snack nearly everyone will enjoy. enjoy.
You're always safe at home with Scott Farms.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you here as a quick line out is off the first pitch of the inning. Dudley Taw hits a laser to Falk right at first. And so on the other side, a quick one pitch, one out here to start for Garrett Sendelbach instead of the opposite where Dawson started the inning off with a single on the first pitch.
And the Tobs have hit the ball hard starting the game with Doyle and now Tall leading off this inning. Kind of getting unlucky with the bats.
Pitch here is going to miss as the batter is Caleb Dean, who gets the start at first base again for the Tobs. His third straight start at first base is a strike called here. As for Caleb Dean, a junior out of Missouri Baptist, hits this ball out to deep center, but that one will be corralled by Vitello. And there are two away. So that'll bring up the catcher, Jacob Sharon. Sharon, a junior out of the University of Louisiana Moreau, out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We'll see if he can put the first hit into the hit count for the Tobs. Tobs have had two base runners, a pair of walks in the first inning. As this one will miss here, so the count now 1-0. And that one up at the letters. Carson Freeman, the number 9 batter, in the on-deck circle for Wilson. Looking for their first hit of the game. Pitch here is going to be fouled back just to our left. And really a nice setup that we have here at Hooker Field. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but got cover over top of us. Got a table, power, internet, everything that we need.
I'm not complaining. This is fantastic.
As the count here is 3-1. The pitch is swung on. That's going to be into the goal of the third baseman. Factor the throw across the diamond, and the low scoop by the first baseman, Falk. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Settelbach. Don't even know if he broke a sweat out there on the mound. Yeah, another hard-hit ball. So the Tobs just going to try to see if they can find the opening here.
Yeah, Sendelbach really getting his, his work in early in terms of getting off the mound.
For the Tobs, they will stay on the road as tomorrow they'll pay a visit to High Point Thomasville as they will face the High Toms for the first time this season, a 6 p.m. first pitch as instead of a 7 o'clock normal first pitch of what you might expect. So 6 p.m. first pitch. There's the Tobs. We'll finish off a back-and-back road trip here before returning home on Sunday, June 10th, as the Tobs welcome in the Holly Springs Salamanders for a 6 p.m. first pitch, as gates will open at 5. And let's take a look at the promotions and what we'll have going on. It'll be the first Bang for Your Buck Sunday, as it'll also be Bark in the Park and Faith and Family Night. And coincidentally, it's Bark in the Park here tonight at Hooker Field for the Martinsville Mustangs. So all those will be going on. Be sure to bring your friends, your dogs, and donations, as there'll be $1 hot dogs, $1 popcorn, $2 snow cones. Again, I'd like to thank our game sponsors for that night, the Cottage Animal Clinic, PDSS, Life 103, also State Farm, and also Emerge Ortho.
And, Doug, I don't think you can beat Bark in the Park. $1 hot dogs, $1 popcorn, or $2 snow cones. No, not at all. So we'll see what the Tobs can do here in the bottom of the second inning, as Martinsville will send their 6, 7, and 8 batters to the plate. It is probably one of the best names I've seen in my memory recently, Cross Factor. Not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen, this guy's name is Cross Factor. He will step in to lead things off for the Mustangs. And for Cross Factor, wears jersey number 7, a freshman from Yukon, Oklahoma. And he goes to Cowley. So just interesting all around the board. I was talking to the play-by-play guy before this. Apparently, he's going to be transferring to Oklahoma State.
Okay, well,
in the near future.
I might know that a little bit more than Cowley. So,
yes.
But with a name like that, definitely going to be keeping an eye on him. As the throw here from Sharon that was supposed to go back to Dealer, there was a little errand. That was not the throw down to second. But it'll be Factor and then the designated hitter, as it'll be Bryce Bacencius, and then it'll be the catcher, Will Doherty.
And you mentioned cross factor. I think it's just him getting comfortable with these wooden bats.
Yep.
Because he's only batting 56 on the year right now, 1 for 18, so he's got to get a little bit comfortable with these bats.
So he'll step into the left-handed batter's box as the Mustangs have 2 runs on 2 hits. The 2-run shot in the bottom of the first inning off the bat of Falk. Breaking ball will start off the inning here for Dealey, but no call from the home plate umpire. As we'll also be sure to give you a look at the Coastal Plain League out-of-town scoreboard as games are underway. Count here will even up at a ball and a strike. Just taking a quick look, a lot of scoreless games so far. A little bit different compared to what we saw last night. A lot of offense around the Coastal Plain League. So the count 2 balls and a strike. And this one scooped way in front of the plate. That one ricocheting off the turf, so the count 3-1.
Well, Doug, you think we had a lot of offense in our 5-run first inning? There was a 12-run inning.
This is true.
Last night.
The Forest City Owls, they were not shy about the offense. One point I thought they had something wrong with the stats. Well, there wasn't anything wrong with the stats. It's just they were so far behind trying to catch up. Ball here is going to be fouled on the first base line. They were just trying to catch themselves up. I went to their Twitter account and was able to see the play-by-play there of what was going on. So even though their stats hadn't updated in a while, they were not having a problem. It was just because the inning was taking that long. Full count here to the leadoff batter, Factor, and he fouls this one back. That one got over top of the little netting bar that they have here behind home plate. Not very high, so a lot of stuff probably makes its way out of the ballpark and into the parking lot.
In a small ballpark, Hooker Field.
Yeah, 330 down the left and right field lines, 400 to straightaway center field. So we'll have another 3-2 pitch here from Dealey. That one is swung on. That one given a ride out to right. And this one is out of here. A solo shot for Cross Factor. And the second home run of the game issued by Sean Dealey, and it's 3-0.
The man's batting 1 for 18 on the year. Could have fooled me with that swing.
You said he's got to get adjusted to the wooden bat, and I mean, it looks like right there he swung that pretty good. He has a big smile on his face as he makes his way back to the dugout. So that'll bring up the designated hitter, as it'll be Bryce Bacencius to get his first at bat. So that'll make it 3-0. And the pitch here is going to be slow inside. That got past the catcher, Sharon. So for Bacencius, a sophomore from Wayne State College out of Des Moines, Iowa, a sophomore. 1-0 pitch is swung on right into the glove of Dealey. He makes the nonchalant toss over to first to Dean. And there's one away.
And Dealey's just got to take a deep breath. He's got to keep fighting through it, you know. He's got to realize that his team's still in it. Only 3 runs, and it's only the second inning. So just keep fighting through it. Make sure that ground ball pitch is working. Get the ball down in the zone. So
that'll bring up the catcher, Will Doherty. Doherty, a senior from the University of Dubuque, but no hometown listed, so
go with Dubuque as his hometown.
I guess we can go, where in the world is Will Doherty from? But the 0-1 count here as he watches that one break high. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. Doherty, the number 8 batter. And the Martinsville lineup, the center fielder, Daniel Vitello, and the on-deck circle. Pitch from Dealey. That was a good fastball. Swinging right over top of it was Doherty. Dealey getting the signs from Sharon. The 1-2, and that one fouled back and out of play. So some good pitches here from Sean Dealey, now trying to see if he can actually handcuff these right-handed batters. So 2 home runs here early on for the Mustangs, 1 to left field and 1 to right center. And this one is in front of the plate, actually ricochets off of the mask of Sharon.
And Doug, you're talking about him handcuffing the hitters. In today's baseball, guys want to hit the ball, launch angles, exit velocity. You got to be able to pitch inside.
That is true. 2-2 pitch is skied a mile high in the air, but that one going to get out of the ballpark down towards the Wilson bullpen. If we take a look at the statistics for Martinsville coming into this one, is they had hit 6 home runs as a team. So they didn't have a problem with the long ball. It was just piecing other offense together with those home runs. And now this pitch over the head of the batter, Doherty. So the count is going to go full 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And a lot of those home runs, solo shots as well.
So one away here in the inning. It's now a 3-0 lead for Martinsville. 3-2 pitch on the way. And that one's going to miss low for ball 4. So that'll bring up the center fielder, as it'll be number 4, Daniel Vitello. As Vitello, a junior from Mars Hill University in Hollywood, Florida. And kind of funny is, right as he walks up to the plate, the lights turn on. So Hollywood playing under the lights from Hollywood, Florida here.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. You can tell everyone, hey, I'm from Hollywood. They don't have to know it's Florida, not California.
Exactly. So the count will start off 1-0 to Vitello. Number 9 batter in the Martinsville lineup. Pitch from Dealey misses up in the zone. Dealey taking some extra time here behind the pitcher's mound. As he'll get set, has to keep the eye over the shoulder with the batter on as this one misses outside. The count is now 3-0. And it looks like the Tobs bullpen is going to get going, but they had to motion down to the dugout to see if they want him to go. And it looks like it's actually Austin Vernon who is up and tossing. Strike called here, so the count now 3-1.
And this has to be Dealey's second or third 3-ball no strikes count.
True. So here's the 3-1. No call from the home plate umpire. That one didn't miss by much. So it's back-to-back walks, and now there's runners on first and second with one away as the top of the order. Back at the plate as Chase Dawson will step in. So the runner Doherty at second, Vitello at first, and Dawson, who's already 1 for 1 in the game with a run scored, gets ready to step up. But first we'll have a mound visit here as pitching coach Jim Leggett making his way out. So first charged visit for the Tobs here.
And if you're the Tobs, you would love for Dealey to get out of this inning, maybe get a ground ball play up the middle and see if you can roll 2.
And so the home plate umpire giving Leggett plenty of time as this opportunity, 1, to try to calm down Dealey, just have a talk with him, but also we know that Vernon has just started warming up, so it's also a chance for him to get some more pitches in there. And so now we'll get set to go here. So a 3-0 lead for the Martinsville Mustangs as we play here in the bottom of the second inning, as they had to reset the scoreboard as they had got off an inning there. As there's 1 out in the inning. That was the grounder back to the pitcher Dealey off of the bat of Vicencius. Dawson in the left-handed batter's box. Dealey will take a look back to second, delivers the pitch home. That one is swung on and fouled back. As Dawson looked like he had to break out the 7-iron there to make contact with that one.
How's your golf game, Doug?
Well, I haven't picked up a club in about 11 months, so I won't comment any more than that. Count 1-1 here to the left-handed batter Dawson, and this one will catch the outside corner. So the count now, a ball and 2 strikes.
If Dealey can get that breaking ball over the plate, I think that will do tremendous for him.
And we'll see what Sharon decides to do here. The pitch swung on. Unfortunately, that one's going to be down. We'll see if they send the runner. They do. Here comes the throw. Now the runner is going to hold. And that was a really good throw from Dudley Todd out there in left, so probably was a smart move there by the Mustangs to hold the runner. And now the base is loaded with one out.
And
Second hit of the game for Dawson.
Yeah, Dealey got great break on that breaking ball before. Sharon went back to it, a hanging breaking ball up in the zone about chest high, and Dawson does a great job of getting over the top of it and just sending it into left field.
So one run already in the inning. The base is loaded as the fastball will miss up in the zone. As Cross Factor started things off with the solo shot to right center. And then it was a one-out walk to Doherty and Vitello, and then the single from Dawson. Here's the pitch. That one fouled back as they go outside with the fastball. So it was the Tobs last night who got out to the early lead, got that early momentum. Now they're trying to play on the flip side of that, but unfortunately over their last 4 games, just once, and that was last night, they've actually started out scoring the opening runs of the contest. They've had to play behind early on. 1-1 pitch here, breaks, but stays up in the zone at the letters. To the batter, Jake Lorenzini, the shortstop. Lorenzini had the sacrifice bunt back in the first to move Dawson over to second.
I sure do.
And this one was up as well, so things not looking good for Sean Dealey. As the count is 3-1 and nowhere to put the runner Lorenzini without walking in a run. Sharon will go through the signs. Dealey delivers. That one is skied in the air, right back towards us. And it hits just to the right of us and doesn't make its way in, but that one was close. Now it rolls back down the hill. So the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dealey looking to try to record a big second out with the runners hopefully not moving. Payoff pitch on its way, and that one inside almost caught the batter, and that will force in a run as it's now a 4-0 lead for Martinsville. 3rd walk of the inning for Sean Dealey. First RBI of the night for Lorenzini.
And this might be it for Dealey with Brian Hill coming to mound for the second visit of the inning.
So Doherty was the runner that scored. Vitello moves over to third, and Dawson moves down to second. And the batter is Josh Falk, who tagged Dealey for the 2-run shot in the bottom of the first. And so unfortunately for Sean Dealey, things will not go tonight how they went in his first start of the season. And we will have a quick pitching change here as the new pitcher into the game for the Wilson Tobs will be that of Vernon. Is on the season for Austin Vernon. This will be his second appearance. He's tossed an inning, and in that inning struck out 1 batter and walked 1 batter. Has not allowed a run. So we'll see what he can do here. As for Vernon, the big right-hander, 6'8", 295 pounds, out of North Carolina Central University in Raleigh, North Carolina. Finished up his first campaign for NC Central. And talking with him over these past couple of road games, seems like the coaching staff going to factor him into the equation a little bit more next year in his sophomore season. Expecting to fire some more innings than what he did this year as he goes through his warm-up pitches. And he will come in a big spot here for the Tobs as the bases are loaded. Just 1 out and 2 runs are already in, 1 on the home run and 1 on the bases loaded walk to Lorenzini. So it'll be Falk, Hardaway, and Morganson.
And, you know, talking to Vernon on the bus, he actually sits right behind us. He's a very superstitious guy. And
Yes.
he can sit in that same seat every single road trip. But he's also a big personality and just a fun guy to be around.
And I believe it's that 5th row, isn't it?
It's the 5th row.
The 5th row.
Every time I think Antoine Tucker was in a seat earlier today. He said, "Man, Antoine, gotta get up, man. I gotta need this seat."
So we'll see what he can do here. Josh Falk will step in. Looked like he'd literally hit that fly ball to the left, and fly it did, and over the wall in left field. And that was the 2-run shot back in the bottom of the first inning. So it'll be a righty-righty matchup here as Falk steps in. Here's the delivery from Vernon, and that one is going to miss. Didn't look like it missed by all that much. Here's the 1-0, and that one unfortunately misses up and in as well, so the count quickly 2 balls and no strikes. So Dealey unable to make it out of the second inning. 2-0 pitch is swung on. That one fouled back and out of play, as that'll go out towards the parking lot. So runners lead from all 3 bases for the Mustangs, as it's been 3 walks and 2 hits in this inning. 2-1 offering is in the dirt. Holding up on it was Falk, and now Vernon, unfortunately, potentially just a pitch away from walking in another run. Here's the offering. Did the batter go? The home plate umpire says that unable to check his swing was Josh Falk. So the count is now 3-2. That one tailed away from the right-handed batter Falk, but it had just enough elevation to it where he thought maybe it was going to catch the corner. 3-2 pitch is swung on, and that one is going to be past the diving Antoine Tucker. 2 runs are going to score, and that'll be it, as falling around second was Lorenzini. So he has to hold, but it is going to be a 2 RBI single, and already 4 RBIs for Josh Falk in his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, and Josh Falk, seeing the ball well, hitting the ball well. But, Doug, when you get into 3-ball counts and you have to throw the ball over the plate, that's when batters can really key in on your fastball and really let it rip.
So it was Vitello and Dawson who score on the play, as Antoine Tucker tried to make the diving stab, or at least try to deflect it to keep it from going into the outfield. So now it's runners on first and second, as the count is 1-0 here to Dominic Hardaway. He's 0 for 1 in the game, a grounder to Nestor at second his first time up. He drives this pitch, but it'll go foul and back and out of play. And for Dominic Hardaway, definitely probably going to do the same amount of damage that Josh Falk is. Taking a look at the roster, listed at 6'5", 265 pounds. So
he looks the part.
I was going to say, yeah, he looks the part. So he's even in the count 1-1. This one gets by Sharon. It'll go to the backstop, and both runners will move up, as now they're at second and third with 1 away.
It's also worth mentioning that you're probably not going to find someone bigger than him on the diamond, but Austin Vernon at 6'8", 295.
This is true.
He's probably bigger than Hardaway.
Well, also, too, for Hardaway being a right fielder, usually with that size and stature, you don't see that being the right fielder. Maybe the first baseman, the designated hitter, but not somebody in the outfield. He's ahead in the count here, 3-1. Hoping that maybe he can get the same type of pitch that Josh Falk has gotten in both of his at-bats tonight, with a pair of runners in scoring position. Here's the 3-1 from Vernon. That one scoots off the plate and is going to go out of play. And I believe both runs, I thought maybe both runs would score, but they're only going to give the batter Lorenzini home as the ball went out of play. So it'll be just 1 run.
The umpire, I think, makes the correct call there, saying the batters would have only moved up 1 base. Hard for that guy to score from second if that ball stays in play, but that has to be one of the most unluckiest bounces I've ever seen.
This is true. So unfortunately, it still works out to be an RBI for Hardaway because it was ball 4. So It is now a 7-0 lead here for Martinsville in the bottom of the second inning. A throw down to second, and that one's going to go all the way into center field. And that is going to allow the runner Falk to score from third. And this is a tough inning for the Tobs as it's now an 8-0 lead for Martinsville.
And Doug, I mentioned it before the broadcast started, or as we were starting the broadcast. It's the mental errors. It's not the physical part of the baseball that the Tobs are struggling with right now. It's getting locked in and focused and getting ready to play a game. And this inning is just a really tough one right now.
So that'll bring up Bobby Morganson. He hits this ball to first. Racing over will be Dean. So he steps on the bag for the second out. But the Mustangs have batted around as Cross Factor will step up for the second time this inning after he started the inning off with the solo home run against Sean Deely. So how do you feel right now if you're Bobby Morganson? He's the only guy in the lineup that hasn't been on base or done anything. 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a ground out to first.
I guess you'll be okay with it if your team's up 8-0.
So it is an 8-0 lead for Martinsville as a pitcher skied in the air. Brooks trying to track it at third, navigates it, and makes the catch. But unfortunately, 6-run score for Martinsville in the bottom of the second inning, really fueled by the 3 walks in the inning, and then the 2 RBI single from Josh Falk, and also the solo home run from Cross Factor. So just got to try to put that inning behind you offensively for the Tobs and see what you can do here at the plate, right?
Well, you got 7 more innings to do something at the plate, and that's just a tough one for the Tobs. There's not much that went right defensively in that inning or pitching wise, but you still got 7 innings to make up 8 runs of output, and 5-run inning last night, first inning, so they definitely have the ability to score some runs in bunches.
So we'll see if the Tobs can get something going against Garrett Sendelbach. Sendelbach is yet to allow a hit. The Tobs did have 2 early base runners in the first against him. As after he recorded the first 2 outs, he issued back-to-back walks to Nestor and Brooks. But the strikeout of Frick ended the inning, and then he worked a quick 1-2-3 frame in the second. So we'll see what he can do here. As heading back out there for the Tobs, their coach is Brian Hill, who mans third, and Jim Leggett, who mans first. And stepping in to lead things off, it will be the right fielder, Carson Freeman. The number 9 batter, as he will get his first at bat of the game here in the top of the third inning. First pitch going to miss low for a ball, so a lefty-lefty matchup here. For Carson Freeman, a sophomore out of East Stroudsburg University in Bangor, PA. Also out of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference as he swings and misses this one. So definitely had a couple outings this year in league play against Dominic Hardaway. Out of Millersville, pitch here is going to be fouled. Past Leggett there in the first base coaching box. Count now a ball and 2 strikes. Going through the signs is the catcher, Doherty. This one lined into the glove of the first baseman, Falk. And that's the second time tonight that he has used the glove to take away a potential hit. And the Tobs still looking for that first one up in the hit column.
Doug, I don't know if you can hit a ball harder than Freeman. Just hit it right to the first baseman, just sticks his glove up.
So quickly in here is Brenton Doyle, and delivering already was Sendelbach, and the count 1-0. That one missed low. This one going to be fouled off. Doyle 0 for 1 in this game. Started out with that rocket to the second baseman, Dawson, who was able to handle it and then toss it over for the first out there in the first inning. Swings here at one that was low in the zone. So the count quickly a ball and 2 strikes. 8 runs on 5 hits thus far for Martinsville. Pitch here swung on. That one into right field, backing up for it and making the catch over his shoulder was Hardaway, just shy of the warning track. And there are 2 away.
And that ball jumped off of Doyle's bat, but Hardaway, almost tracked it immediately off the bat. And
I was gonna say
pretty easy play for him.
So maybe if it had a little more height to it, it might have given Hardaway some problems, but it was pretty much a line drive out to right field. As this one missed low in the dirt, as Tucker doesn't even move the bat off his shoulder. And the count 1-0. He's 0 for 1, fly ball to center. Takes this one above the letters, and again, doesn't even move the bat off of his shoulder. Trying to see if he can keep the inning alive, the 2-0. And that one looked to be just below the knees from my vantage point, but it'll be a call to strike. 2-1 pitch, and that one is in there. That one was right down Broadway. Might have been a good one for Tucker to offer at. So the count now even. Quickly, the 2-2 pitch. That one misses low and away. And I'll tell you one thing, Brandon. Sendelbach not wasting any time here in between pitches.
I was about to comment on that. He's moving fast.
3-2 pitch is going to miss inside. So his third walk of the game. But it's been a little bit different for him because in the situations, the Tobs, they just haven't been able to have the same type of production that Martinsville's had already.
Well, in 2-out walks, you never want to walk, but 2-out walks, it's okay if it's only one guy on base. You just get the next guy. But when your walks come early in the inning, that's where you get in trouble.
Pitch here is going to miss to Jacob Nestor, who walked his first time up. That was with 2 outs in the first inning.
But Sendelbach, he's pitching within 10 seconds of getting the ball back. So maybe if you're the Tobs, you want to call a timeout, step out of the box.
Pitch here is going to be lined on the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. They call it fair. It's all the way into the corner. They're going to send Tucker around third. Here comes the throw, but it's not going to be in time. And all the way into third, Jacob Nestor with an RBI triple, and maybe that can get the Tobs going.
Yeah, Nestor seeing that fastball and depositing it right down the right field line, and we kind of lost the vantage point, but maybe Hardaway had a little bit of trouble down there, the right field line, and Tucker, with his speed, able to get around the base pass all the way from first base. That's a clutch piece of hitting, 2-out hitting by Nestor.
That's what the Tobs were looking for, so now we'll see what Drew Brooks can do. Lefty-lefty matchup as the first pitch will miss for a ball. So the Tobs get their first run and first hit all in the same play, the RBI triple from Jacob Nestor to score Antoine Tucker. 2-0 now here to Brooks. Chops it foul over towards the Mustangs dugout, first base side. So even here, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. In the inning for the Tobs as some of the dogs here in the stands getting a little rowdy. The pitch is swung on. That one down the right field line, but that one will quickly get out. There's some kids down the right field line lost track of it. They knew it was in the air, but they just literally just laid to the ground, but it went out of the ballpark over the fence. So we'll have another 2-2 pitch as Brooks has been on base once tonight. That was a walk back in the first. Now here with Nestor on third. The 2-2 is going to miss. That one might have actually crossed up the catcher, Doherty, as after he caught, he looked over to the dugout. Maybe he wasn't expecting that pitch or that location. And the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from the lefty, going to be slow and inside, ball 4. So second walk of the inning, and now there's runners on the corners.
This is a big at bat for Patrick Frick. With 2 outs, runners on the corners, you gotta get more runs for this team, and he's got to get his bat going as well. He's got to get that feel of that wood bat and really produce for this team in the middle of the lineup.
So we'll have the first pitch to Frick, and that'll be in there for a called strike. The Tobs dugout on the third base side not all that happy with the call. Frick struck out swinging his first time up. That ended the first after the Tobs got runners on first and second via the consecutive walks from Sendelbach. This one going to miss off the outer half of the plate over towards the left-handed batter's box. As Frick looked down to his head coach, Brian Hill, to get some signs, he said, swing on through the ball. 1-1 is in there for a strike. Frick started to offer at it, but couldn't pull the trigger. Tobs have one in, but they trail by 7. It's 8-1. The 1-2 is a called strike 3. And that will end the inning. So second time tonight that Frick has struck out. And it will leave 2 on the bases. But the Tobs do get their first hit and first run thanks to the RBI triple from Jacob Nestor. But it's an 8-1 lead for Martinsville as we head to the bottom of the third inning as you're listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network.
So what makes Mobile Mini the most secure choice for portable storage? It's our all-steel construction, patented tri-cam locking system, and container guard locks that come together to provide the most secure portable storage solution in the business. Our standard containers combine exceptional security with excellent value, utilizing exterior locking bars for access and may require an extra hand. This system is ideal for construction situations where access is infrequent. For even greater ease and convenience, our premium container delivers Mobile Mini's superior security with our easy access design. Doors easily open with one hand, making it ideal for frequent retail or commercial use. Whichever way you go, you can't go wrong, locking in the superior quality, security, and convenience of Mobile Mini.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with here, alongside Brandon, too, as we come to you live from Martinsville, Virginia, and Hooker Field, as the Martinsville Mustangs an 8-1 lead against the Wilson Tobs. Wilson getting onto the scoreboard in the top of the third inning. But before that, Martinsville plating 2 in the bottom of the first and then 6 in the bottom of the second. We're underway here in the bottom of the third as Austin Vernon is back out for the Tobs after he came on to take over for the starter Sean Deely, who couldn't make it out of the bottom of the second inning. And he will face the designated hitter as it'll be number 16, Bryce Vicencius. And unfortunately, he is going to sail that one low, so that will be a leadoff walk to Vicencius. First time he's been on base tonight. So that will bring up the catcher, Will Doherty. Doherty walked and scored a run in the second inning. As this one missed in the dirt, but they said that it was a swing from the batter Doherty, so the count will be 0-1. Looked like he'd held up on it, but they appealed to the umpire in the field, and he said that it was a swing. Doherty, though, didn't seem to complain all that much, so maybe he did, in fact, swing. But nonetheless, a good start here for Vernon. Now he throws over. That was up the line a little bit, but Dean was able to glove it. So it'll be the 8-9 and 1 batters now with the runner Vicencius on first. And this one going to miss up in the zone as the count now 2 balls and a strike. So now 5 walks already from Tobs pitching. There's a throw over. That one could have been close had the throw been just a little bit more to the right side of the bag. As diving back in was Vicencius. As Vernon using that rosin bag trying to keep the stickiness of the throwing hand down there. And this one misses up and in. The count now goes to 2 balls and a strike. As Vernon takes a look up at the scoreboard that's out there in left field.
All I can think of is that he's sweating a whole lot. He's trying to make sure he has that grip.
Yep. So the 2-1 pitch, and that one went down into the turf, and right as he let it go, he looked to the fingers on the right hand. So the count now 3-1. Doherty and Vitello, who are the next two batters, they both walked in that second inning. Pitch is swung on and fouled out of play just to the left of us. Looks like maybe you should have brought your glove here tonight. We might get one over here.
I might. I'll be ready, Doug.
Okay.
Bare hand and all.
Okay, well, we've already had a couple close calls, but nothing really all that much to worry about. But the count full here, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, an 8-1 lead for the Mustangs. The pitch is going to miss, slow, ball 4. And it's a second consecutive walk to start off the bottom of the third inning.
And walks a big factor in this game right now. That's a 6th walk for the Tobs so far. And listen, you're never really going to win a ball game if you're giving up this many walks and this many wild pitches. You got to make sure you find the strike zone.
So the 6th walk, the 3rd walk that Vernon has issued, and quickly coming out of the dugout there was Brian Hill, as he quickly takes the ball out of the hand of Austin Vernon. And it looks like we will have another pitching change for the Tobs, already the second call to the bullpen. We'll see who is summoned here, as Brian Hill brings actually his entire infield in to have a chat before we see. And it looks like that is actually Jared Gallagher. Have to confirm that, but Gallagher tossing a 1/3 of an inning last night, late in the game in the win against Edenton at home. And we'll see if it's him. Actually, now looking, it's not going to be him. It's actually going to be Ryan Troutman, number 15. So Troutman will be the new pitcher as he takes over for Austin Vernon. And Brandon will get you some info and some stats here on number 15, Ryan Troutman. As Troutman out of Lander University.
Yeah, and Troutman on the year. This is actually going to be his, I believe, his first appearance of the year. Excuse me. It is actually not his first appearance of the year. He has surrendered 1 hit in 2 innings and 1 walk, but has given up no runs so far this season.
And right now, head coach Brian Hill definitely going to look for him just to throw strikes.
Yeah.
That is the big thing here. Is you'll take, as the coaches say, you'll take the good hits off of the strike pitches if the batters can make you work and they can do the job. But if you miss the strike zone and allow them to score and move around the base paths without them having to do the work, that's when the problems start. So we'll see what Troutman can do.
In Troutman's first outing of the season, the 2 innings, the 1 walk, he didn't have any strikeouts. He didn't really need any strikeouts. If you're throwing balls for strikes and you're getting the ball hit and play and it's getting hit to your fielders, I mean, that's just as good as getting a strikeout pitch. So, yeah, it's all about finding someone who can find the strike zone.
So that'll bring up Daniel Vitello, the center fielder. He walked and scored in the second inning. As now the Mustangs have had 9 base runners over the last 2 innings. First pitch here going to miss from Troutman.
Sharon held that a little bit longer, trying to get the call. Thought it was close enough at the knees.
Troutman going to be a junior this upcoming year at Lander. 6'1", 190 pounds, out of St. George, South Carolina, delivers a strike. Troutman also, when he came in at Lander, a 2-way player, also saw some time in the field. He's kind of transitioned back and forth between fielding and pitching. As here in the dirt, gets by Sharon. He doesn't know where it is. That's going to allow both runners to move up. As that will move Vicencius over to third. And Doherty up to second with nobody out in the inning. And now a really good spot for Vitello to try to add to this 8-1 lead. Sharon will go through the signs. Troutman sets down the mound and delivers. That one stayed up in the zone, and Sharon had to come up out of the catcher's stance. So glove that one.
And unfortunately, we have another 3-ball count.
We'll see what Troutman has to offer here on the 3-1, trying to not give the batter Vitello something too good to hit, and that one is in the turf, and they're going to say that it was just nicked by the batter Vitello. And that one might have been close, because let me tell you what, the runner Bacencius at third, he was breaking for home. He thought that that one, even though it was a swing and a miss, was not made contact by Vitello, but that was not how the home plate umpire saw it. So the count full now, 3-2. Troutman sets on the plate, delivers, and that's going to miss up for ball 4. And the bases will be loaded with nobody out.
And if you're Troutman, you're obviously disappointed with giving up the walk. But now it is bases loaded. You have the force out at home. Just go get this next batter. See if you can get a strikeout, pop up. Any way you can keep this score at 8-1. Make some big pitches in this inning.
So each of the first 3 batters have walked. Vicencius, Doherty, and Vitello. Back to the top of the order. Dawson hits it right back up the middle, and that's going to be near center field. And it will score 1. As holding at third will be Doherty, so Vicencius will score. And that will make it 9-1 on the 3rd single of the game for Chase Dawson and his first RBI.
And Chase Dawson, the man's hitting the ball on a tear right now, 3 for 3. Start the game, 3 singles.
So the bases will remain loaded with nobody out. That run will be charged to Vernon. As the last runner that Vernon responsible for is Doherty at third. Vitello at second, and then Dawson at first, the responsibility of Troutman. The batter is Jake Lorenzini. Has dropped down a sacrifice bunt, also walked with the bases loaded. That's how he picked up his RBI as he fouls this one off. So the count evens at a ball and a strike. 9-1 lead for Martinsville over Wilson as we play here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tobs will be on the road tomorrow night at High Point Thomasville, 6 p.m. first pitch. And this one will be a called strike. Kind of making a quick look back was Lorenzini.
You could say he disagreed with that call.
Maybe just a little bit, as he's behind in the count, and not too many Martinsville batters, unfortunately, have been in that spot here early on. This one giving a ride down the right field line, but that one's going to get foul. He actually gets into the bullpen of Martinsville. Giving it a look was Freeman, but I saw him pull up, so kind of went with the assumption there that it probably was going to be foul. Don't think he would just kind of let up after the ball was going to be fair down the line. So the count holds it all on 2 strikes. Nobody out. Troutman delivers to Lorenzini, and that one is going to break in the turf. Sharon kept it in front of him.
And this might be an even bigger pitch than a full count pitch. You don't want to go to the full count, so 2-2 pitch. Got to bring your best pitch here with the bases loaded.
And here's the offering from Troutman. Swung out and fouled back and out of play. And I had mentioned earlier about giving you some score updates from the out-of-town scoreboard in the Coastal Plain League. Now that there are some scores to talk about, we'll go through and give you some of those scores instead of just reading off a whole bunch of zeros. But first, another 2-2 pitch here coming from Ryan Troutman, 3rd pitcher of the game for the Tobs. And that one is swung on. Maybe a chance here for Dean. And that one sounded like it hit in the bleachers, so he won't be able to get to that one. Bottom of the 2nd inning, no score between Peninsula and Edenton. Top of the 1st inning, the Savannah Bananas out to a 1-0 lead against the Florence Red Wolves. Top of the 5th inning, High Point Thomasville finds themselves behind 8-0 against Ashboro. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Gastonia with a 4-3 lead against Forest City. And then bottom of the 5th inning, Macon a 7-0 lead against Lexington County. Another 2-2 pitch, and again, another foul ball. So this will be the fourth 2-2 pitch coming here from Ryan Troutman. Top of the fifth inning, Fayetteville trails Willington by a score of 1-0. Then bottom of the fourth inning, Morehead City with a 5-1 lead against Holly Springs. As Morehead City looking to try to run their record to 7-1 here early on in the first half. 2-2 pitch again, swung on, hit out to center. Making the catch is going to be Doyle. Here comes the runner, but now he's going to head back. And a nice job there by Brenton Doyle as nobody is going to score on the fly ball to center off the bat of Lorenzini for the first out.
And Doyle, the All-American from Shepherd University, Division II All-American. I haven't found a flaw in his game yet. I think the guy has all 5 tools you need: speed, ability to throw the defense with the glove, and the ability to hit the ball for power and around the park. So, I mean, that throw right there was a laser right to the mound.
So that will bring up Josh Falk, and, well, he's just had a night already so far to start things out. This one gets by Sharon. Runner comes home, and scoring from third is going to be Doherty. So that will be the final run charge to Austin Vernon, so that'll close his book as Daniel Vitello will move over to third, and Chase Dawson will move up to second, and now make it 10-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. But Falk 2 for 2, a 2-run home run and a 2-run single, so he's got 4 RBIs on 2 hits. And now a pair of runners in scoring position. The pitch from Troutman misses inside.
And you were mentioning earlier, much like Dominique Hardaway, he kind of looks the part on the baseball diamond. But I guess the most frustrating part about this lead right now is just the pass balls and wild pitches.
True.
You can't really do anything with that if you're the Tobs.
So the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Troutman delivers. That one will be in there. Troutman might have got a little bit of help, but hey, he'll take it. Tobs trying to navigate the second out of the inning with Dominic Hardaway in the on-deck circle. Pitch here swung on, and that one will get over into the bleachers as that one will fall on the hill, and that one will quickly be brought in. So the count leaving up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right now, the bullpen quiet for the Tobs. There are 2 pitchers that are going through some stretches down the left field line, but nobody tossing. 2-2 pitch from Troutman. Breaks low and away, and holding up on it was Falk. But also, too, Brandon, you really have to credit, though, the patience of the Martinsville batters, because even though there's been so many walks, not all the pitches have been that far outside the strike zone. There have been some good pitches.
There's some really good pitches on the outer part of the plates that, isn't going the Tobs' way. Very patient hitting by the Mustangs.
And the 3-2 pitch, going to miss, and it'll be another walk. And once again, the bases will be loaded for Martinsville. 4th walk of the inning.
And that was an example of a close pitch that could have been swung at by the batter with a full count, but the ability to take that pitch and go ahead and take your base.
So far here through the first 3 innings, the 7, 8, and 9 batters, Bacencius, Doherty, and Vitello, they have worked 5 of the walks for the Mustangs. Pitch here is chopped first. The throw going to come home. They'll get the force out as Dean had to bobble it just a little bit, trying to get it out of that glove, and then got the grip on it. So he'll get the fielder's choice out as Vitello will be out 3-2.
And I know Dean wanted to get that ball out of his glove faster, but that's an outstanding play by him. I don't think the Tobs are going to be able to turn 2 at first base, so make sure you get that run at home and keep it at a 10-1 deficit right now.
So Dawson moves over to third. Falk will move up to second. Now with 2 away, that'll bring up Bobby Morganson. And again, the Mustangs just 1 batter away from batting around for the 2nd consecutive inning. And that one swung on and missed. As that one was low and inside, but now able to hold up on it was Morganson. Morganson is the only batter so far in the Martinsville lineup that has not been on base tonight. He is 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a ground out to first. Everybody else in the Martinsville lineup has been on base at least once. Pitch here, chop, but foul down the first base line. And as Dean gave it a look.
And if you're Morganson, obviously it's a very individual sport or individualistic sport. With baseball, hitter versus batter. But his team's up 10-1, so I'm sure he's going to be okay with that over 2 night right now. But he's looking to drive a ball with the bases loaded. He is down 2 strikes, though, with Troutman getting ahead.
So no 2 pitch coming up here for Troutman with 2 outs in the inning. The offering is going to be up in the zone, and they couldn't get a swing. So I'd mentioned earlier, unfortunately, 8 walks have been issued at this point by Wilson pitching, and 5 of those have been worked by the 7, 8, 9 batters. So just a lot of patience from the bottom part of your lineup, and then the power coming from the 1 through 3 guys. 1-2 pitch from Troutman is going to miss low, and the count now quickly tied up 2-2.
And you talk about the walks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the walks are a big, factor. But they had 10 walks last night.
True.
Other side of that is they had 11 strikeouts.
Yes.
So, the ability to put away batters with the strikeout pitch, that's obviously not happening tonight. But there's 8 walks in less than 3 innings.
Pitch here, that one given a ride out to left. Going back for it is Dudley Tall will make the catch just shy of the warning track, and that will end the inning. So the Mustangs send 9 batters to the plate. They leave the bases loaded. They add 2 more, and they will take a 10-1 lead to the top of the 4th inning here at Hooker Field against the Wilson Tobs. As you're listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network. And this one is going to be fouled back. So 3-2 count here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, as it's been back-to-back strikeouts from Garrett Sendelbach. Struck out Dudley Toss swinging, struck out Caleb Dean looking. And a strikeout here as Garrett Sendelbach will strike out the side as he gets Sharon down swinging. And now 5 strikeouts in the game for Garrett Sendelbach.
Yeah, and when we talked about earlier, Sendelbach with the walks, he's allowing guys to get on base, but then he's got that strikeout pitch working, and that's how you're able to limit those walks into runs.
So that is the second 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Sendelbach, and again against those 6, 7, 8 batters for the Tobs. As we get set here for the bottom of the 4th, and it looks like Ryan Troutman will make his way back out on the mound here for the Tobs.
And Coach Hill has to be thinking, I need someone to eat up innings for me right now, down 10-1. This game isn't over by any means, but you want somebody out there to eat up a little bit of innings because you don't want to waste your entire pitching staff on this one game.
So as we said, the Tobs on the road tomorrow before returning to Historic Fleming Stadium on Sunday, June 10th, as it'll be the first Bang for Your Buck Sunday, also Bark in the Park, and Faith and Family Night. Bring your friends, dogs, and donations, and enjoy $1 hot dogs, $1 popcorn, and $2 snow cones as the Tobs take on the Holly Springs Salamanders. Gates open at 5. First pitch is at 6. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, the Cottage Animal Clinic, PDSS, Life 1031, State Farm, and Emerge Ortho. The Tobs also hosting another Tobs All You Can Eat Tuesday on Tuesday, June 12th. As that Tobs All You Can Eat Tuesday, courtesy of DeBayou Wilson. There'll also be $2 select Sweetwater Pub Beers, courtesy of Sweetwater Brewing Company, as it'll be the Wilmington Sharks making their first appearance of the season at Historic Fleming Stadium. Game time 7 p.m. Gates open at 6 as we're ready to go here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As leading things off, it'll be the third baseman, Cross Factor, who led off of the 2nd inning with a solo home run and then got another at-bat in the 2nd inning as he ended the inning where they pop up to the third baseman, Drew Brooks. So he is 1 for 2 in the game. Pitch here, given a ride on the right field line, but they're going to call this one foul. Didn't see that one, but I feel that one's probably a little bit closer than Troutman would have liked.
I was going to say Freeman kind of gave it a little jog out there too, so I think he thought it was closer.
So the 1-1 pitch is fouled back. Just getting a piece of it was Factor.
As I mentioned earlier, he was 1 for 18 coming in tonight, but he's swinging the bat well so
You had
far.
to go and mention it, didn't you?
I know, the broadcaster's curse.
So we'll have the 1-2 pitcher again and again, just following it back. There's Cross Factor. Home plate umpire will need some more baseballs here. Nice job on the assist there by number 21 for the Mustangs, as that is Kyle Lisi, a sophomore out of Shippensburg, acting as the ball boy here tonight for the Mustangs. 1-2 pitch again. This one given a ride out to left center. Tall will line it up. And that's going to be the first out, but Factor definitely did get cheated on that swing. Just didn't find the jet stream that time.
No, I don't think he's been cheated on any swing he's had so far this game. Even with that pop-up to Brooks, he swung hard.
So that'll bring up the designated hitter, as it'll be Bryce Vicencius. Vicencius in this game 0 for 1 with a walk and a grounder that came back to our starter Sean Deely in the 2nd inning. Has also scored a run as Troutman starts off the at-bat 0-1. And this one is swung on, hit to Brooks at third. Gloves it, the throw up the line a little bit, but able to make it is Caleb Dean. And there are 2 away. So that'll bring up the catcher. Will Doherty has walked and scored both times that he has been up tonight. And also nice to see here for Troutman, able to work out of the windup We saw him there in the third inning. He was having to work out of the stretch, so maybe that also, too,
He's coming right in, working out of the stretch,
kind of threw him off a little bit. So he's got 2 away here. 1-0 count, though, to Doherty. This one paints the inside part of the plate.
And for some pitchers, it is important to come in and get with that windup and that rhythm going. From the windup, it's just easier to get yourself into rhythm.
Sharon gives the signs, the 1-1. That one was low and in the turf. Troutman, the third pitcher of the game.
I have noticed with every Tobs pitcher this game so far, they all keep checking the mound every time.
This is true. Might be something with that landing spot. That time, Troutman looked like he was a little off balance. Thought maybe that one could have been a called strike. Kind of gave that little bit of the lean back there, trying to see where that one maybe missed. So they count 3-1, 2 outs, and for Doherty, he's just trying to keep the status quo going, trying to work his third walk of the game. And that's going to be a called strike. He didn't even start to head down to first. But for Doherty, he's still trying to register that official first at bat.
Well, I was going to say, as a catcher, he probably knows the strike zone better than anyone else.
True.
So
3-2 pitch on its way, and that one's going to miss inside as Sharon held it there. And Doherty started to swing, but he'll work his third walk of the game. So Doherty not all that worried much about official at-bats tonight here.
I guess so.
Still got to register an official at-bat.
Plate appearances matter.
Yes, plate appearances matter. So that will keep the inning alive. A 2-out walk is that will bring up the number 9 batter, Daniel Vitello, who's done the same thing, has walked both times he's been up. Only difference, he has not scored 2 runs. He's only scored once. He was out at home in that force out on the nice play by Caleb Dean throwing home.
And you would think that some of these pitches aren't even close if we're having this many walks with the Tobs, but
correct.
You were right. I mean, these are close pitches the Mustangs are taking, so very patient at bats.
And this one is going to be a called strike, and the Mustangs doing this all without their head coach not being here tonight. As we were told before the game that assistant coach and pitching coach Craig Sook would be acting as the head coach, and the other assistant, Dustin Beasley, would be obviously acting as the assistant coach. As this one is going to be chopped foul as head coach Kevin Swain not able to be here tonight for the Mustangs, but looks like the Mustangs haven't missed them all that much, not missing a beat as they have a 10-1 lead as we work here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 in the first, 6 in the second, 2 in the third. 6 hits up on the board for Martinsville in front of their home crowd. 1-2 pitch on its way from Troutman. In there, called strike 3. And that will end the inning as a runner is going to be left on base. As that's the first time tonight that Vitello has been retired. And he couldn't pull the trigger to do it. So we have played 4 full here at Hooker Field. We go to the top of the 5th. And it's a big lead for the Martinsville Mustangs. As we'll step aside as you're listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network.
Wilson is leading, showing that you can build a vibrant place in a small town.
One thing Wilson's really focused on is becoming a center of innovation.
We are creating an innovation zone in our downtown, which will be the epicenter for our community of inclusive innovation.
And when you hear people all over the world to come to Wilson and talk about how did you guys do this? What did you do?
People in Wilson are really excited about what's happening here.
Well, what's at stake for Wilson is its economic future.
Wilson has the courage and the vision to control its own destiny.
Wilson is the leader and will be the leader for this new fiber age that we have, and we're excited about it.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with the here alongside Brandon 2 as the Mustangs a 10-1 lead. And their starter, Garrett Sendelbach, back out there and doing what he has done so far. just continuing to throw the baseball. Doesn't take all that much time in between pitches. Has his mission, knows what his goal is, sets flyers, and delivers. He will face the 9-1-2 batters for the Tobs here in the top of the fifth, as it'll be Freeman, Doyle, and Tucker. Carson Freeman ahead in the count, 1-0, as he lined out to the second baseman, Dawson, his first time up.
And we've seen a couple of cross-outs between Daugherty and Sindelbach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how you get crossed up with no one on base. You know, you don't have to go to his alternate signs. I guess they're just trying to work through it together as a battery right now.
So the count 1-0, and it was quickly the catcher, Doherty, who went out, didn't waste any time before Sindelbach just started to start throwing the second pitch. This one given a ride. Playing the hop is the second baseman, Dossman. Toss over to Falk. It's a low throw, but Falk is able to glove it. And there is one away. So 4-3 on the putout. Can't see down in the bullpen of the Mustangs, but I do hear the sounds of some pitching, so would assume that there's some action starting in the Martinsville bullpen. There's also some action down in the Tobs bullpen.
And this may sound like an exaggeration or hyperbole, but I believe every ball that's been almost hit in play has been hit right to a Mustangs fielder.
I think you would probably be accurate on that statement. Is the only thing that hasn't found a Martinsville fielder was the triple off of the bat of Nestor. And that was just a really good swing on a really good pitch where Nestor was able to win the battle against Garrett Sindelbach. Pitch here is swung on, given a ride down the right field line by Doyle. But this one is going to get fouled. It left the ballpark, but Doyle got to straighten it out a little bit. As Doyle keeping Hardaway active down there in right field.
That's a good approach by Doyle, you know, go the other way, stay back on the ball.
Go with the power of the pitcher, they say. So that's what he did there against Sindelbach. 2-1 pitch on the way. That one is swung at and missed, and that was a big swing there by Brent Doyle.
I think he was trying to put that over the scoreboard.
Yeah, he went away from that approach where we just gave him the compliment. Now he tried to power it over the wall in left field. 2-2 count coming here. Doherty gives the signs the pitch. That one swung on at the shortstop. Lorenzini throws it over, and the out recorded as Falk able to glove it. And there are two away. So again, another hard-hit baseball, but they say you have to hit them or they ain't, and the Tobs have not been able to do that here in this one. So that'll bring up Antoine Tucker, as Tucker in the game has flied out to center, walked and scored a run. That was on the triple by Nestor. As Antoine Tucker hustling around the bases, he scored all the way from first on that triple by Nestor. 1-0 pitch here is going to miss. So we've seen that now in each of the last two bats by Tucker. He hasn't even lifted the bat off of the shoulder on the first two pitches. Sindelbach delivers the 2-0. That one swung on, giving a ride on the right field line, ranging over for it Hardaway, and he will make the catch. And it will be a 1-2-3 top of the fifth for Garrett Sindelbach, who hasn't done all that much wrong here early on in this one, as he has allowed his team to keep a comfortable 10-1 lead. As we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, as while we have the chance, give you a look here at the Coastal Plain League out-of-town scoreboard. See how some of the other games across the CPL going here on this Friday evening. As top of the seventh inning, Peninsula has taken a 5-1 lead against Edenton. Bottom of the second inning, all tied 3-3 between Savannah and Florence. Bottom of the fifth inning, Ashboro still tossing a shutout as they lead 9-0 against High Point Thomasville. Bottom of the fourth inning, Forest City has rallied back to take a 5-4 lead against Gastonia. Bottom of the seventh inning, All-Macon over top of Lexington County, 8-0. Top of the sixth inning, Moorhead City holding a 5-1 lead against Holly Springs. And then top of the sixth inning, Wilmington trailing Fayetteville 2-1 at home, as that's a look around the Coastal Plain League out-of-town scoreboard. As Ryan Troutman back out there for the Tobs after working a clean Bottom of the fourth inning, worked around the 2-out walk to Doherty.
A little bit of a sigh of relief from Brian Hill, right?
Probably,
Clean inning.
yes. And it's also good, too, for the reliever, Ryan Troutman, as Troutman really hadn't tossed, all that many innings this year for the Tobs, so it's kind of good for him to get into a rhythm.
Only 2 innings and 2 outings.
True.
So the ability to, I guess, extend his outing here so far is good for this Tobs team that needs to kind of get some runs on the board.
So it'll be the top of the order for the Mustangs as the leadoff batter, Chase Dawson, will step in. First pitch he sees will be low. So Chase Dawson, he's 3 for 3 tonight with 3 singles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. And the only thing that's been different so far is he did not bat in the 4th inning. He batted in each of the first 3 innings. He gives this one a ride out to right center. Ranging over for it is Freeman, but Doyle will come in to make the catch as he calls off Freeman right at the warning track in right center, and that is allowed out number 1.
And the old adage, if you're the center fielder, go and get it. That's
true.
What Doyle did. He went after that baseball, tracked it right off the bat.
So after the catch made by Doyle, Doyle and Freeman tap each other's gloves, and they'll head back to their positions. So luckily there was no miscommunication to lead to a collision. So that'll bring up Jake Lorenzini, the shortstop. He drives the first pitch, going back for Dudley Taw, and he'll make the catch. And 2 flyouts start the bottom of the 5th inning on just 3 pitches for Ryan Troutman.
And nighttime air falling over us. I think the ball has kind of lessened its travel a bit.
So that will bring up the first baseman, Josh Falk, who for the first time tonight in the 3rd inning did not pick up a hit and did not pick up a RBI and did not score a run. So a number of firsts for Falk in his 3rd at bat. As he drives this one, though, for a single through the right side and out to left field, and Tall will quickly pick it up and get it back in. So a 2-out single, 3rd hit of the night for Josh Falk.
As much as we talked about the patience of Martinsville, some of these guys are getting up there and just swinging the bat. So I guess some of them are like, hey, we're up 10-1. Let's have a rip at the fastball first pitch.
So for Troutman here in the bottom of the 5th, he's thrown 4 pitches, has recorded 2 outs, and then gave up the single. As not able to hold up the swing here was Dominic Hardaway, as the home plate umpire says that he goes around. So the count starts off 0-1 him. The pitch was in the turf, but that was a nice job by Sharon behind the plate to not let it get by him. Hardaway has grounded out to second, walked, and also reached on a fielder's choice. Does have 1 RBI, as that walk was with the bases loaded back in the 6-run 2nd inning. This pitch was inside, almost clipped at Jersey, so the count evens up. This next pitch here to Hardaway would be the most pitches any of the batters from Martinsville have seen in the inning. And it's off of his helmet. As Hardaway kind of spun out of the way there.
And you heard that one from over here.
Yeah. I say we didn't need to have the crowd mic all that high for you to be able to hear the crack of that one. So Hardaway heads down to first as he motions over to the Martinsville dugout that he's okay. The trainer had started to head out but quickly went back. So it's runners on first and second. 3rd time that Hardaway has been on base tonight. First hit batter for either side. Bobby Morganson steps up, and Morganson trying to join the hit parade here tonight, or at least get on base for Martinsville, saying, guys, been up to the plate 3 times, and I haven't been able to get on. What are you guys doing?
I would say I would feel bad for him, but everyone else has hit the baseball.
This is true. He's flying out to left twice, and he's grounded out to first, 0 for 3. 1-0 pitch is low again, so the count is 2-0. 2 outs here, as the first 2 outs came relatively easy for Ryan Troutman, as it was just 3 pitches to get the first 2 outs against Dawson and Lorenzini, even though they were well struck. 2-0 pitch, that went in there for a called strike, so the count now 2 balls and a strike.
And if you're Morganson, you're probably keying on a zone, looking for one pitch in one specific spot and seeing if you can give it a ride.
Sharon goes through the signs for Troutman. The 2-1 is up in the zone, and the count is now 3-1. So Morganson probably clenching the bat a little tightly at the plate here. Sees the count 3-1.
Some people call it keyhole hitting. You know, look for the ball in the keyhole.
Probably a tough spot, says, do I maybe take that close pitch, try to get out of here the walk, or swinging away? We'll see here. 3-1 pitch coming from Troutman. It's going to miss outside. And so now each of the 9 batters for Martinsville have been on base at least once tonight, as Bobby Morganson works a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th. And after Troutman got the first 2 outs, he's now loaded them up. A single, a hit batter, and a walk. As Falk moves over to third, Hardaway up to second. And that will bring up the third baseman, Cross Factor, who is 1 for 3. Takes a first pitch strike. Has hit a solo home run, popped up to third, and flied out to left.
Cross Factor of the Name Hall of Fame.
This is true. Runners lead off all 3 bases. Troutman delivers. That one swung on, back up the middle. Going to be a tough play, though. Throw to second. And they say that able to hold the foot on the bag is Antoine Tucker. Off of the nice throw there from Nestor, who tracked that ball down up the middle. And the Tobs get out of it with no runs allowed.
Excellent play by the middle infield. You know, trust your fielders. Throw strikes, have them put the ball in play, and see what happens.
So it was Morganson who's the force out, 4-6 on the fielder's choice by Cross Factor. So we will head to the top of the 6th inning. For the Tobs, it'll be their 3, 4, and 5 batters. As the Tobs taking a look at some of their upcoming promotions that they'll have at Historic Fleming Stadium upcoming. We've already talked a little bit about Bark in the Park, Faith and Family Night, along with Bang for Your Buck Sunday. Also another Tobs All You Can Eat Tuesday on Tuesday, June 12th. Another one that will be a good one, Thursday, June 14th. It'll be a Throwback Thursday, but it'll also be City of Wilson Little League Night, as the Little Leaguers will get free admission into the game. So hopefully that'll be a great night. Hopefully they'll have their uniforms on.
It's going to be a fun time to be at the ballpark.
And so I know the players, they love it when the little guys are able to run out there and the girls are able to run the field with them, go out there for the starting lineup, and then stand out there for the national anthem. As the sponsors that night will be the Wilson City Little League, also Emerge Ortho, R.A. Jeffries, and Dean's Farm Market, as we'll have another Farm to Field Farmers Market as the Edenton Steamers back into town, as that'll be a 7 p.m. first pitch and gates open at 6.
Doug, with the divisions and the unbalanced schedule,
this is true.
With the 2 games against Holly Springs and Wilmington, those might be the only times you get to see those 2 teams. So come out to the ballpark Sunday and Tuesday, and then definitely come out for a Thirsty Thursday with the Wilson City Little League.
And then the next time that the Tobs will see the Martinsville Mustangs will be back in Wilson, and it'll be the makeup of that game that was rained out. It'll be a doubleheader on Saturday, June 16th, and it's going to be a big night at Historic Fleming Stadium. It's going to be Star Wars Be a Hero Night. It's also Slugger's birthday, it's Mascot Mania. So if anybody dresses up, you can get free admission and access to all of the on-field promotions and games that will be taking place that night that are all themed around Star Wars and Being a Hero Night. So that one should be another great night. And come and help celebrate Slugger's birthday with all of his friends, as there's going to be a lot of other mascots on hand celebrating Slugger and the Wilson Tobs. So as we get set here for the top of the 6th inning, a call to the bullpen for the Mustangs, as the starter, Garrett Sendelbach, is out of the game. His night is over, as the new pitcher is going to be number 31. As we'll look to get a name for him, as it looks like taking a peek here at the roster, it's going to be Greg Lieben. Lieben, a junior out of Austin P from Bellevue, Washington, a junior. And he is quickly heading the count here. No balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Nestor, who has been on base twice tonight. He has walked, also tripled in a run. And he takes a called strike 3 here to get the 6th inning underway. So far, it doesn't look like any bit of a difference between Sendelbach and the new pitcher. And
I guess to wrap up Sendelbach's night, he had 5 innings, a hit, earned run, that triple by Nestor bringing in the run, and then 4 walks, but he had 5 Ks over those 5 innings. So excellent work by Sendelbach.
So we'll see what Drew Brooks can do. First pitch here is going to be a called strike. So of those 5 strikeouts for Sendelbach, 2 of them were against Patrick Frick, and then he struck out the side in the fourth inning, struck out Todd, Dean, and Sharon. And quickly heading the count 0-2. Here is Greg Laban. And that one's going to miss. And Laban definitely not shy here on the fastballs that are coming the way of the Tobs batters.
And with the 10-1 lead, just throw strikes, try to pound the strikes.
Gives you a little bit more liberty to do so. The 1-2 pitch. They're going to check to see if Brooks offered at it. And the umpire is going to say he did not. So the count will even up 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, Doug, I don't have a radar gun, but it sounds and looks like it
sounds
being
fast.
thrown pretty hard.
Yes. Sounds like I would not want to be the catcher here tonight, Will Doherty. Probably going to have to put some ice on that hand after this one. 2-2 pitch on its way, and that one is swung out and missed. So it's back-to-back strikeouts here for Laban to start his appearance. So that'll bring up Frick. He's trying to avoid going 0 for 3 here with 3 strikeouts. He struck out swinging and struck out looking. And this one going to be up and inside. Tobs right now just the 1 run and the 1 hit. Both of those coming back in the 3rd inning. And this one will miss up and in. The fastball now a little bit wild from Laban. A little bit more time here by Laban. Not much more time between pitches, but just a little bit more than what Sendelbach did as he tosses in a strike here.
I was going to say, I don't even know if the Doherty was able to get the sign down before Sendelbach was ready to pitch.
This is true. The 2-1, that one is skied in the air up the elevator shaft. And this one will be caught at second by Dawson. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the 6th inning. As Frick has an 0 for 3 night. So another 1-2-3 inning, and we'll see what Martinsville can do in the bottom of the 6th inning. As it'll be their 7, 8, and 9 batters scheduled due up, as we will step aside as you're listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you here as the Tobs and head coach Brian Hill have made a call to the bullpen as we get set for the bottom of the 6th inning. And with the details on the new pitcher, Brandon 2.
Yeah, Waylon Ergel making his 3rd appearance for the Tobs, and that he's got 3 appearances, 3 innings pitched. That actually leads the Tobs in terms of appearances. 4 hits, 2 runs in those 3 innings, and 1 home run surrendered, but 5 strikeouts with only 2 walks.
And so we'll see what Tripper Ergel can do here, as the last 2 innings have been fairly quiet for the Mustangs, even though they did load the bases in the 5th inning, and Troutman was able to work it out of it. But that kind of, I think, ended the line for him. If he would have worked through that cleanly, Brian Hill maybe would have run him out for another inning because, like I said, he was eating up some innings, wasn't doing anything wrong.
He got 2 outs on 3 pitches.
Yep, and then loaded the bases up.
The bases.
A walk, a hit by a batter, and then a walk. And then the fielder's choice ended it.
Ergel seems like the type of guy for Coach Hill. You give him the ball almost every single time you can, and you just have him go out there and see if he can pound the strike zone, pumping fastballs.
So he'll face the 7, 8, 9 batters as Bryce Pacencius will lead things off. Has been on base once tonight. First pitch, a fastball, and a swing and a miss for strike 1. Pacencius grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 3rd, and then grounded out to Brooks at 3rd base in the 4th inning. Ergel, again, another fastball and a swing, and a count 0-2.
And as I mentioned 5 strikeouts in 3 innings, so we know Urgel has a little bit of a strikeout pitch to him, and he throws the ball hard.
So here's the 0-2. That one will miss up and away. No real shot at that one for the batter. Vicencius to offer at it. Sharon goes through the signs. And now this one will miss low and inside. So from 0-2, we go all the way back to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Urgel trying to record the first out of the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Held on to by Sharon. And that will be the first out of the inning. First time that Vicencius has struck out tonight. So that'll bring up the catcher, Will Doherty. He's been on base all 3 times tonight, and all 3 times it's been a walk. So we'll see if Tripper Urgel can change that string.
As you were saying, I don't think he casually cares about at-bats, but I guess his plate appearances matter and on-base percentage.
So the first pitch up coming here from Tripper Urgel, and that one inside almost caught the batter. As Doherty really hasn't had much time to breathe behind the plate time. Maybe that's why he's taking the walks. He just wants to be at the plate as much as he can, because when he's behind it for his pitcher, there's all that much time to back there and enjoy this 10-1 lead that the Mustangs have. Strike going to be called here as the count will even up. The center fielder, Daniel Vitello, in the on-deck circle. Here's the offering. That one swung on and missed.
And Tripper, it's a little bit of a unique thing for him as a relief guy. He comes in the game automatically coming from the stretch instead of going from the windup. So I guess he's used to having guys on base, and that's just his comfort zone for him.
He also does that little quick turn first, too, to the right, kind of twisting the torso before he gets ready to deliver, almost like that's his mechanism to get set. Count even here, 2-2. After that pitch missed low in the zone. He gets that right foot set and gets the little twist, the 2-2. Slipped that time a little bit, but got the swing and the miss anyways. And Sharon held on to it, and there are 2 away.
And Urgel has such a good fastball that he's able to set up hitters with that breaking pitch. And he's used it twice for these first 2 batters and, against swings and misses.
So we'll see what he can do here against Vitello. And that's the first time that Doherty has been officially retired tonight. Vitello was retired for the first time in the 4th inning. He's officially 0-for-1, has walked twice, scored a run. Swings to the first pitch. Tucker had to wait back on it. He's not going to be able to get the runner, as that was just a tough play for Antoine Tucker, as he thought it was going to be hit a lot harder, so he initially ranged in on it, but then he had to stop and see what he was going to do, and then by that time, just too much speed for Vitello.
It was also hit. I guess the turf is a little bit harder than even the plate, so it was hit off the front of the plate with that top spin action, and you got to wait back on it almost if you're the shortstop, if you're Tucker.
So that will allow the leadoff batter, Chase Dawson, another chance to try to pick up his 4th hit of the game. Couldn't do so in the 5th. So they will give that indeed an infield single, 8th hit of the night for the Mustangs. And that'll be their first hit since the 2-out single from Falk in the 5th inning. Dawson awaiting the 1-0 pitch. That one is up in the zone. Dawson singled, scored a run in the 1st, singled, scored a run in the 2nd, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and then flew out to Doyle in the 8th. And that started the inning, in the 5th inning. That started the inning. 2-0 pitch here from Urgel is going to miss. No call from the plate umpire. So he was nothing but strikes and then gave up the single to Vitello in the first pitch, and now he's got a tough time finding the strike zone. There's the 3-0, and that's going to miss from all 4. So that will put a pair of runners on, as that will bring up the shortstop, Lorenzini. So 4th time that Dawson has been on base tonight. It's also interesting to note, too, about Urgel. When he gets a runner on base, he doesn't do
do the mechanism.
He doesn't do that twist to the right of the mechanism to kind of get himself set. There's the first pitch, and not able to hold up was Lorenzini. Lorenzini looking for his first hit of the night. He's been on base just once, walked, and was given an RBI as the bases were loaded in the second inning. Also has a sacrifice bunt and a pair of fly ball outs. A one swung through and missed as Lorenzini had the right hand come off of the bat. Swung at it one-handed. Runners lead from first and second as Vitello is at second. Dawson at first. The pitch swung on. Hit to Tucker. He's going to go the short way. Nestor there to get the force out. And that will end the sixth inning as we go to the top of the seventh. A 10-1 lead for the Martinsville Mustangs. As the Tobs are going to try to see if they can at least get some things going here late. Try to feel better about the performance here tonight as the Mustangs make another call to the bullpen. They'll have a new pitcher. We'll get the details on the new pitcher after we take a quick timeout as you're watching Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball and Network.
Wilson is leading, showing that you can build a vibrant place in a small town.
One thing Wilson's really focused on is becoming a center of innovation.
We are creating an innovation zone in our downtown, which will be the epicenter for our community of inclusive innovation.
And when you have people all over the world to come to Wilson and talk about how did you guys do this? What did you do?
People in Wilson are really excited about what's happening here.
Well, what's at stake for Wilson is its economic future.
Wilson has the courage and the vision to control its own destiny.
Wilson is the leader and will be the leader for this new fiber age that we have, and we're excited about it.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with here, alongside Brandon too, as another call to the bullpen for the Martinsville Mustangs. Their second of the night as the new pitcher will be number 21, as it'll be Kyle Licey. And for Licey, a sophomore out of Shippensburg from Allentown, New Jersey. He will try to see if he can continue the dominant performance tonight here from Martinsville pitching, as the Tobs in this one have had just 5 base runners. 4 of them have been via a walk, and then the RBI triple by Nestor. So some numbers for Licey. We'll turn it over to Brandon.
And Licey, three appearances on the year, 4 2/3. He's got 4 hits, surrendered 1 run. So he only has a 1.93 ERA, and along with those 4 2/3, he has 4 strikeouts.
And he'll face Dudley Taw to lead off the top of the 7th. It'll be Taw, Dean, and Sharon. And really, one of these guys would love, well, all 3 of them would love to get going, but they've had a tough go here tonight as against the starter, Garrett Sendelbach. They were each retired in order 1, 2, 3 in both the 2nd and 4th innings. And the count here is a ball and a strike to Dudley Taw. And he waves and misses here at the low pitch from Licey. Base is empty. Doherty gives the signs. The right-hander delivers, and that one missed up and away. It was kind of funny because we mentioned Licey. He started the game. He was the ball boy for the Mustangs. And then gave up that role to go down to the bullpen to come into the game. 2-2 pitch inside. Almost caught Taw, but the count full.
I was going to say, nice promotion for him.
Yes, true. So the count now full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The offering is swung on, fouled back and out of play. Watch out for a windshield there, as the count will stay full. So we'll have another payoff pitch here from Licey. And that one is given a ride by Taw out to left center, ranging back for the left fielder Morganson, and he'll get there on the warning track. He drops the baseball. They're not going to say that he held on to it, and that is a tough play out in left field for Morganson. He got to the warning track, it looked like in time, put the glove up, and then it came out, and now head coach Craig Snook going to go out and have a chat with the home plate umpire to see if the left fielder Morganson held on to it long enough or if it was in the transfer. So
it's one of those gray areas, the whole transfer rule, getting out of your glove, but I don't think he held on to it.
So they are going to give the left fielder Morganson an error. That'll be an E7 as Dudley Taw is going to be at second base.
Tall won't complain about it.
And Caleb Dean will be the batter. So first error of the night for the Mustangs. This one driven back and out of play off the bat of Caleb Dean.
And maybe this can get Wilson going. You know, an easy play for the left fielder as he drops it. I got a guy in second now. Let's see if we can get some hits going.
So the count will be 0-1 to Caleb Dean. 0 for 2 in the game. Has flied out to center, struck out looking. Those were both against the starter, Garrett Sindelbach. Runner going to third. The throw, not in time. They say that Dudley Taw is able to swipe third, even though the third baseman Factor tried to apply the tag to the back. And now we'll see Craig Snook again make his way out. This time he's going to chat with the infield umpire.
Now, Tall didn't have that big of a lead, but I believe Lacey never even looked back at him. So he was taking off on first move.
So I don't think we're going to get a change here from this one. And we won't. So it'll be a stolen base for Dudley Taw.
And you could hear him smack his helmet from here. He forcibly put the tag down.
So the Tobs trying to get their second run of the game. Another pitch driven back and out of the play by Caleb Dean. Caleb Dean keeps following his baseballs out of the ballpark here. They're going to ask him afterwards to go find him and track him down. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 of the fastball. Too much there from Lacey. And that'll be the first out. Second time tonight that Dean is struck out. So that'll bring up Jacob Sharon, who is 0 for 2 in the game, has grounded out to third, struck out swinging. This one is skied in the air, and that one going to come over our way. And that one actually made it behind us and out of the ballpark. Waiting for it to hit on the roof here, but didn't hear it. So the count 0-1. This one low inside. Did Sharon offer no check from the catcher? So the count leaving up at the ball and a strike.
If you're Sharon with 1 out, runner on third, 1-1 count, you want to put the ball in play.
The offering. He watches it and it misses. The count 2-1. Spot here where you'd love to hit it up the middle. If anything, try to hit it to the right side with the speed of Taw.
Put the ball in the air even.
That too. See what he can do here. The offering is swung on. It is put in the air. It's down the first base line, but this one will get out of play. So the count will be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like whoever was doing the scoreboard in the press box maybe thought that one was going to be caught. They had cleared the count and they'd put a second out up, but now they've changed it back. So 2-2 pitch coming here from Lacey. And that one's a called strike 3. Sharon didn't like it, but can't take a pitch that close in a spot like this. So that'll be a big second out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lacey. Second strikeout of the night for Sharon, and that'll bring up Carson Freeman, who has really stung the ball twice tonight. A line out to Falk at first, and then a hard grounder to Dawson at second. Drives this pitch out to left. Another chance here for Morganson, and this time he will make sure that he holds on to it, and he runs in with the glove being held in his hands. And he still has the baseball. He has yet to let it go. And I believe he's going to hand it right to the umpire. Nope, he's going to take it to the mound, and now he'll flip it out. So he makes the emphatic
He might have gave a little look to the umpire, too.
He might a little bit. So the Tobs do try to get something going. They get the leadoff runner and Todd to second after the error. He steals third. But a pair of strikeouts and a fly ball to left. Unfortunately, do not lead to a run for the Tobs as it's time to stretch here at Hooker Field as it's a 10-1 lead for the Martinsville Mustangs, and we'll have a pitching change for the Tobs as Tripper Ergel will come out of the game, and checking in for the Tobs, it'll be number 16 as they will make their third call to the bullpen. It'll be their 5th pitcher of the evening. Is making his way in and looking to try to see if he can toss up another 0. Here for the Tobs will be Harrison, and he'll make his first appearance.
Yeah, and David Harrison out of NC State. They just got knocked out of the regional play. So making his first appearance for the Tobs, actually was activated today. A big left-handed pitcher who has a lively fastball, and we'll see if he can get some outs.
David Harrison, 6'4", 195 pounds, a freshman this year at NC State, out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
So not very far from Wilson.
Nope. Also made some appearances in his high school days at historic Fleming Stadium. So when he pitches there for the Tobs, it won't be all that new of an experience for him.
But I was actually sitting next to him, I guess behind him on the bus. Big dude.
Yes.
Big dude at 6'4".
Yeah, definitely all 6'4". So we'll see what he can do in his first appearance for the Tobs. Definitely not the score that he'd like to see up on the scoreboard making his first appearance, but going to try to see if he can toss up a fourth consecutive 0 for the Mustangs offense after they scored each of their 10 runs through the first 3 innings. First pitch here will miss low to the batter Falk, the first baseman, so it should be a good matchup here. Power versus power.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This one swung, and that'll be fouled out of play.
And if you're Coach Hill, I obviously want this to be a closer game when you bring in Harrison, but low-pressure situation. He's got some time to work out, I guess, the kinks with Sharon and the other catchers, so, his first appearance.
And this one's going to be outside. It was a nice job by Sharon to get to it. Falk in the game tonight has 3 hits. He's been on base all 4 times, 3 for 3 with a walk. 4 RBIs, also a 2-run home run. Follows this one back out of play. It'll be Falk, Hardaway, and Morganson, barring any pinch hitters for the home team. Sharon, a couple of signs. Harrison finds when he was liking the pitch. That'll miss outside, so the count is going to be full. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch to Falk. He takes it low for ball 4. And so he will be on base for his 5th time tonight, his 2nd walk. That's a nice night at the plate. So that'll bring up Dominic Hardaway. Was hit by the pitch in the 5th inning by Ryan Troutman, went right off of the helmet. Did not advance past second. He's been on base 3 times tonight. He's looking for his first hit. He's walked, reached on a fielder's choice. Count here starts off 0-1. Pretty good lead over at first for Falk. This one inside, turning out of the way, was Hardaway. And that was called a strike. Definitely thought that would have been too far inside to get a call from the home plate umpire. But some good luck for David Harrison. This one is swung on. That was a late swing. Went all the way over towards the dugout for the Mustangs.
And after seeing that ball ricochet off his helmet, it's crazy to believe they used to not wear helmets.
This is
playing the game of baseball.
That's true. We'll see what Harrison can do here. Looking right at the runner at first. The 1-2 pitch. Waved at and missed. That one hit about 3 feet in front of the plate, but Hardaway was unable to hold off on the swing. So that'll be the first out.
That's a breaking ball that we like to say fell right off the table.
Yes, it did. And it might not even have gotten to the table. It might have fell before the table. So now we'll see here what Bobby Morganson can do. He finally was able to reach base in the 5th inning, worked the walk, swings here at the first pitch. It's going to be foul as it was off of his ankle. He tries to walk it out a little bit off of that right foot. Morganson in the game has flied out to left twice, grounded out to first in the walk, and had that tough drop fly ball out there in left, which maybe he thought he held on to long enough, but the umpires didn't agree. He has a runner here at first, Falk, the leadoff walk. Harrison delivers, and that one's fouled back. That was inside. Tied up the batter Morganson a little bit. Cross factor in the on-deck circle. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Tobs. 10 runs off 8 hits and 1 error for the Mustangs. 0-2 pitch is going to miss inside. Harrison takes a quick peek out of the scoreboard. Gets the signs from Sharon. Looks at the runner at first. And that one is swung on. Hit to second. They flipped to short. The turn just in time. Antoine Tucker able to finish off the 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. So a nice turn there as Morganson will have the inning come to the end. As it was Falk, the lead out on the 4-6. And so that'll send us to the top of the 8th inning. We'll give you a check here at the Coastal Plain League out-of-town scoreboard. Should be close to having some final scores come in. As bottom of the 7th inning, and some offense is picked up between Edenton and Peninsula. Peninsula leads 11-6. Bottom of the 5th inning, Savannah and Florence tied 3-3. We'll have to check on that one. That's been in the bottom of the 5th inning for a little bit. Top of the 8th inning, not going so good for High Point Thomasville, who the Tobs will see tomorrow. They're trailing Asheboro 12-1. Top of the 6th inning, a 7-7 ball game between Forest City and Gastonia. Bottom of the 9th inning, Macon pretty comfortable lead, 9-0 against Lexington County. Blowfish going to try to see if they can mount a comeback. I mean, they did have a 6-run comeback already this year.
9 runs, a little different.
That's a little bit different. There's just 3 more. And then top of the 8th inning, Moorhead City a 6-1 lead against Holly Springs. And bottom of the 7th, Wilmington a 4-2 lead against Fayetteville.
And some of those scores jumping off the page, Macon getting off the snide from the losing streak, having a win yesterday.
Yes. Apparently now the baseball gods are happy.
The baseball guys are happy with them, and also High Point Thomasville has a 4-game win streak coming in this game, so the fact they're down 12-1 to Asheboro.
So tough one there. Count starts off 0-1 to Brenton Doyle, and now it's 0-2. He wasn't cheated on that swing. Looks like for Martinsville, they might have had a defensive change in right, as they do. Dominic Hardaway is out of the game. Did not hear the number. Ball here is driven down the right field line out of play. So we'll have to see who came in for Dominic Hardaway in right field, as he is checked out of the game defensively. Count still 0-2 here to Brenton Doyle, and that one is in the turf. Nice job by Doherty. Back out there working for the Mustangs is Kyle Lacey. Here's the 1-2, and that one is swung and missed, and Doyle almost fell off his back foot as it was just a hit-me fastball up in the zone. Lacey said, I'll just give you the good old number 1, see what you can do with it. So Doyle, a tough night for him. He's 0 for 4. First time that he has struck out, and that'll bring up Antoine Tucker, who's been on base once tonight and scored the lone run for the Tobs. Foul tips the first pitch into the glove of Doherty. Taking a look here at the scoring, it looks like it was 8 runs between the 2nd and 3rd innings for Asheboro that helped them get out to their big lead. Then added 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 7th. And tough for High Point Thomas, so they have 9 hits in the game, but they've been able to produce just the 1 run. Pitch here in the dirt to Antoine Tucker, so they count 2-1.
A lot of men left on base for High Point Thomasville.
Here's the offering from Lacey. That one right back at us, but that'll have a little bit too much air under it. Actually hits right off of the fence behind us.
I had that one.
The aluminum fence, I'll say, not a chain link fence.
I was ready, Doug.
You were ready. 2-2 pitch. And Tucker going to take it right on the inside corner. So back-to-back strikeouts for Lacey. He's got 4 now. And that'll bring up Jacob Nestor. So for the Tobs in this one, 6 base runners. They've left 5 of them on base. This one a called strike to Nestor. He's got the lone hit tonight for the Tobs. It came in the top of the 3rd inning with Antoine Tucker on first. As it went all the way down the right field line into the corner and gave Hardaway a little bit of problems, and it allowed Tucker to score from first. Even though he probably wouldn't have been able to score anyways with the speed that he has. This one popped straight up in the air, but nobody able to get to it.
I don't know exactly what Tucker's feet per second is or whatever the new analytics is, but I venture to say he's probably the fastest guy on the team. I kind of want to see a foot race between him and Doyle.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know. I feel like Brenton Doyle may, no pun intended, give him a run for his money, but we'll see what Nestor can do here. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. As Lacey will strike out the side. Second time tonight that a Martinsville pitcher has struck out the side after Sendelbach did it in the fourth. And we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Not much doing here for the Tobs, unfortunately, tonight. So we'll send this one to a timeout as you're listening to Wilson Tobs Baseball here on the Wilson Tobs Baseball Network.
Family to yours, we promise the best quality in our Scott Farm sweet potato products.
Whether served as healthy wedges or crunchy chips, we take pride in serving our community and our country.
Locally grown and hand-picked, our chips provide the perfect choice for your game day snacks.
Whether hitting a home run or cheering on the sidelines, our products ensure a healthy snack nearly everyone will enjoy.
You're always safe at home with Scott Farms.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you here alongside Brendan, too, as a call to the bullpen for the Tobs, as they'll actually bring in their right fielder, Carson Freeman, and Ben Fazo will enter the game. He goes into right field. And with the pitching numbers for Carson Freeman, here's Brendan, too.
3 innings pitched on the year, 1 appearance. He has 6 hits and actually deuces wild with 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 of them are earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
So you're saying that 2s are a big number for Carson Freeman.
I love that. Let me tell you.
So we'll see what he can do here against Cross Factor, who was a factor for the Mustangs back in the 2nd inning, as he had the solo home run at the time to make it 3-0. Since then, Martinsville has added a couple more runs to their total. First pitch will miss from Carson Freeman, so it'll be a 1-0 count to Cross Factor. Since that home run has popped up to third, flied out to left, and then reached on a fielder's choice. This one was in the dirt, and running the ball out to his pitcher will be Sharon. So this will be a charged mound visit.
I think it hit the plate and then hit the home plate umpire in the mask. Sharon kind of giving him a little bit of breather.
So Sharon will make his way back. Freeman, who started the game in right, a two-way player, drives this one right to second. Nestor gloves it. Throw in time to Dean at first, and that'll be a 4-3 ground out. So that'll bring up the designated hitter, as it'll be Bryce Vicencius, looking for his first hit of the game. His only time on base was a walk back in the 3rd inning and also scored. And the pitch swung on down the first base line, a fair ball. Dean's got a race to get back to first. He does. And it's in time for the second out, 3 unassisted. So nice play there by Caleb Dean.
Caleb Dean, we've only seen him 2 games at first base, but looks pretty sure-handed over there.
As head coach Brian Hill trying to find a spot for him across the infield. First pitch here will be swung on and fouled out of play from the catcher Will Doherty, who was walked 3 times tonight, also struck out swinging, as he doesn't really want to wait all that much. And now a breaking pitch here. Nice one there from Freeman. As it broke low in the zone. Sure on the sides. The pitch, that one skied in the air. Trying to find it, Drew Brooks. And couldn't see if he caught it because the light pole ran in my way, but I'm going to assume he did as everybody runs off the field. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Carson Freeman as the pop fly there to third. So a 1-2-3 frame, and we go to the top of the ninth, see if the Tobs can maybe display some early fireworks here at Hooker Field. This tomorrow night will be firework night after looking at the scoreboard for the Martinsville Mustangs. So see if the Tobs can have some early fireworks, as they'll definitely look to try to pick up their second hit of the game.
I was going to say, if Lexington come back from 6 runs down, they're down 9. Maybe Tobs can get something going with that.
Well, we'll see. You never know. You never say never until that final out is recorded and the handshakes are taking place. So we'll see what the Tobs can do. They're going to have to try to do it against Kyle Lacey, who struck out the side. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. He struck out 5 in his 2 innings of relief. He struck out Dean and Sharon in the 7th, and then Doyle, Tucker, and Nestor in the 8th. So he'll face Brooks, Frick, and Taub, barring any pinch hitters. That's up to head coach Brian Hill if he decides he wants to get anybody in.
And Doug, you have those first 3 innings with a whole lot of runs from the Mustangs, but it's zeros across the scoreboard after that.
True.
So very clean game so far, but past the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and last night, the Tobs were on the other side of that. You could say the same thing for Edenton. They gave up those 5 in the first, but after that, the Tobs were only able to get 1 run, and it came in the bottom of the 7th. So same thing, just Tobs a different night on the other side of it. And so Drew Brooks, who made that 3rd out on the pop fly there to end the bottom of the 8th, he'll get things going here in the top of the 9th inning. As Brooks in the game has walked twice and struck out swinging, but both times he walked, he was left at first. Takes this first pitch low for a ball. Martinsville looking to move to within 2 games of 500 as they look to pick up win number 3 of the season here in their 8th game. Tobs had battled to get back to 500 last night. Fortunately, they're going to fall back below 500. Counting our ball and 2 strikes now on Drew Brooks. Pitch here is swung at and missed. They went a little bit off speed there. Brooks, he was maybe expecting the fastball. Second time tonight that he struck out, and that is now 4 strikeouts in a row for Kyle Lacey. And that will bring up Ben Fazo, who will get his first at bat, chops the first pitch he sees right to the first baseman, and running over will be Falk. He touches the bag. And there are quickly 2 away. So Fazo didn't wait all that long to swing at his first pitch. So that will bring up Dudley Taw, steps into the left-handed batter's box. Drives this one in the air. All that's got to be done is the left fielder Morganson to hold on to it. He does, and that'll end the ball game. So a 10-1 win for the Martinsville Mustangs after the fly ball to left, as that will improve the Mustangs to 3-5 on the season, and unfortunately will drop the Tobs to 3-4. So the Tobs, well, they'll get a chance to get right back to it tomorrow night, as they will be facing the High Point Townsville High Tobs at 6 p.m. before they return home on Sunday. As Brandon quickly going to go through some of the line scorers here and give you a look at what the Martinsville Mustangs were able to do pitching-wise, and really they didn't do all that much wrong here tonight. Yeah, pitching-wise, I mean, Sendelbach started off the game with 5 innings, 1 run, 4 walks. There's 5 strikeouts, but Lacey at the back end after Lieben came on for that inning, 2 1/3, 6 strikeouts. I mean, he came in throwing absolute gases, as we pointed out. You don't need a radar gun to know that he's throwing it hard. True.
And I guess the name of the game for the Tobs is to clean up the little things, the walks, the pass balls, the wild pitches.
Yep.
Just clean that up, and I think you're in this ball game if you're the Tobs. If that 6-run inning doesn't go, the second inning doesn't turn that way.
You're talking about just 2 runs.
Yeah, you're kind of in this game at that point.
Yep.
So I guess just clean up the walks. Obviously, the 22 walks over the last 18 innings
that's tough.
That's tough to overcome.
Tough.
But last night you had the 11 strikeouts, and just tonight it wasn't their night. And they started off the game, as we mentioned before, Doug. They were hitting the ball hard, just finding fielders.
Yep.
Hit it where they ain't.
And so we'll give you one final look here at the Coastal Plain League out-of-town scoreboard. Bottom of the 8th inning, Peninsula still leads 11-6 against Edenton. Finally have an update between Savannah and Florence. It looks like Florence has taken a 5-3 lead. That game in the top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 8th inning, Asheboro leads High Point Thomasville 12-1. High Point Thomasville in danger of losing their 4-game winning streak, as Brandon mentioned earlier. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still tied 7-7 in the bottom of the 6th inning between Forest City and Gastonia. Bottom of the 9th inning. That one might be over, as that one's been in the bottom line for a little bit, unless Lexington is railing. But they were down 9-0 to the Macon Bacon. Bottom of the 8th inning, Moorhead City a 6-1 lead at home against Holly Springs. And top of the 8th inning, Wilmington a 4-2 lead at home against Fayetteville. And then here at Hooker Field, the Tobs on the wrong side of a 10-1 score as Martinsville picks up their 3rd win of the season. They're now 3-5. Unfortunately for the Tobs, they fall to 3-4. So take a look here at the schedule, what the Tobs have upcoming. Again, on the road tomorrow, High Point Thomasville, 6 p.m. first pitch. Gates will open at 5. Tobs back at home on Sunday, June 10th. They host Holly Springs at 6 p.m. Then they go on the road. They'll make their trip to Fayetteville to take on the Swamp Dogs, 7:05 p.m. first pitch. That's on Monday night. And then on Tuesday, the Tobs back at home against the Wilmington Sharks at 7 p.m. And barring any weather from Mother Nature, the Tobs will have an off day, technically their first official off day, on June 13th before hosting the Eaton Steamers on Thursday, June 14th.
We can only hope.
Yes, we can only hope. So that's a little bit of a look here at the upcoming schedule for the Tobs, but be sure that if you ever need to know what's coming up with the schedule, what's coming up with the promotions, or what's going on involving the Tobs, you can always head to wilsontobs.com. We have everything that you'll need and more there. If you want to look at the schedule, the stats, the promotions, if you want to take a link to look back and watch the old games, you can do so as well. Everything you need to know there at wilsontobs.com. So that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight. Tobs on the wrong side of a 10-1 score. They're back at it tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring you another audio broadcast, doing our first here tonight on Ustream. We thank you for everybody that was able to listen in. We hope that you enjoyed it, even though the Tobs falling here 10-1. So for Doug Page, and also alongside Brandon too, we thank you for tuning in so long, and have a great night.